Muy bien, seguimos en el Comité de Careta Radio y ahora llega el momento de entrevistar a los New Pagans. Ellos son una banda de Irlanda del Norte que vamos a estar comunicándonos en segunditos nada más. Han visto los flyers esta semana ahí dando vueltas en las redes, vendiendo la entrevista. El programa en el día de hoy y ansioso porque hablamos recién con Inglaterra y ahora nos vamos a Irlanda del Norte, papá, nos vamos de uno al otro. ¿Qué pensaría William Wallace de todo esto? Nuestro amigo Mel Gibson, bueno, amigo no sé, pero vamos a decirle amigo a Mel Gibson porque es algo que siempre quise decir, mi amigo Mel Gibson. ¿Qué estará pensando de todo esto, ¿no? Que vamos a estar hablando con uno y del otro lado de las fronteras que hay ahí en la Unión Británica tan milenaria. Decime, amigo Raúl.
Mel Gibson es australiano, por eso lo bardeaste, está bien. Tomá, amigo.
No, por William, por Wallace.
Ah, perdón,
William Wallace, ¿no? El peliculón. Bueno, fuimos para allá, hermano, estamos allá, estamos dando vuelta por allá. Yo ahora me encuentro en Florida, acá en Buenos Aires. Vos estás en Barcelona, pero mentalmente yo me encuentro dando vueltas con los New Pagans allá por Irlanda del Norte. Imagino un clima gris, mucha montaña, mucha colina, mucho verde, mucha humedad, y los New Pagans ahí haciendo su música. Raúl, ¿qué onda? ¿Los comunicamos ahora? ¿Querés meter el enemigo Maluma en el medio?
No.
Estamos tratando de comunicarnos, perfecto.
Estamos perfectos, vamos a ver si nos atiende Lindsay, la cantante de New Pagans. A ver.
Perfecto, vamos a estar hablando con Lindsay en minutitos nada más, mientras ahí nos comunicamos. Acá me oiría a mí esta Lindsay.
Hello.
Hello, Lindsay.
Hello, Lindsay, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Hello, Lindsay, I'm very glad to hear you. My name is Manu. I'm here with Raulo, and we start the interview. You think it's okay?
Brilliant, yes, perfect.
Okay.
Bien, me entendió. Si me entendió, está todo bien. Dale a vos, Raulo.
Se entiende, nos podemos comunicar, así que vamos a arrancar con la entrevista a Lindsay, cantante de los New Pagans. So, Lindsay, please tell us your full name and where are you from?
I'm Lindsay McDougall. I'm from Northern Ireland.
Okay. Dice que bueno que es Lindsay McDougall y es del norte de Irlanda. And sorry, the question, how old are you?
How old am I? I am 35.
35, okay. And Lindsay, which is your first memory of you listening to music?
First memory is at church. Church music was the first music that I listened to.
Okay. And how old were you?
I would have been 3 or 4
okay.
when I remember my first memory.
Okay. Le pregunté cuál es la primera memoria que tiene ella escuchando música y me dijo que en la iglesia a los 3 años. And Lindsay, which was your first instrument?
Vocals, always a vocalist. So just in the choir and stuff.
Okay.
So no other instruments, just vocals.
Okay. And choir in the church or in the school?
In school and church, just anywhere that I could sing, I would sing.
Wow. Bueno, le pregunté, perfect. Le pregunté cuál fue su primer instrumento y me dijo que siempre la voz vocal. Le pregunté si arrancó en el colegio o en la iglesia. Me dijo que en los dos lugares, que en donde ella podía cantar, iba y cantaba. And Lindsay, are there places to study music for free in your region?
No, I think most of the places are paid in like university and stuff like that. But I think you learn a lot in places like schools and churches and communities, and people teach each other.
Bueno, le pregunté si había algún lugar para estudiar música gratuito y me dijo que no, que no hay ni universidades ni lugares puntualmente, pero hay un montón de cosas que se transmiten a nivel comunitario, bueno, de padres a hijos, en la iglesia o en lugares. Parece que hay un ambiente de música bastante fuerte ahí en el norte de Irlanda. And can you tell us how was the first time you play in public?
Really scary. I was in my I was probably at school or something like that, but yeah, I think it was really scary.
And you remember where? Maybe with some friends or?
Yeah, I think it was the school, like a school play, like a musical. And I had to get up and do a couple of solos, and I just it was really in front of the whole school.
Le pregunté la primera vez que cantó en público, dijo que fue aterrador, que tiene la memoria que fue en un play, en una... Ay, ¿cómo se dice? Musical play en el colegio, con un festival de música en el colegio, y bueno, que tuvo la oportunidad de hacer un par de solos y que realmente estaba bastante asustada. And did your family study music, or you are the first musician in your family?
My grandfather and my dad both are guitarists and vocalists, so they would have sang a lot in their communities as well.
Okay. Le pregunté si la familia también tenía algún familiar que tocaba, y me dice, bueno, que el abuelo y el padre también son cantantes y guitarristas aparte. And Lindsay, can you tell us how did New Pagans begin?
Yeah, Cahir, and who's in the band, and I wrote. We knew we wanted to do something together, so we wrote musicals. So we wrote "Ode to None," and that's how it started. And we shared the song with some of our friends, Claire and Connor and Alan, and they all were like, "Let's start a band. This is brilliant." So the song "Ode to None" actually is the beginning of New Pagans.
Wow. Okay. And how old were you when the New Pagans began?
I was it's about 4 years ago, so like 31, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Le pregunté cómo habían empezado New Pagans y dice que es algo de amigos, que bueno, tenían ganas de hacer canciones, y a los 30, 31, hace unos 4 años, arrancaron componiendo un par de cosas con miembros ya de la banda, que le pasó uno, todo es muy argentino. You're really like Argentine people. The way that you treat music, you know? Yes, like with friends and with family, and you like that. How do you feel about the music?
Yeah.
The music industry. How do you feel about that?
It's a really difficult industry to navigate at the moment. This is kind of New Pagans is my first band, so it's my first experience. But some of the other band members have been in bands before, and they say that it's getting harder to kind of make money and just even have a moderate amount of success. So it's a difficult industry at the moment.
Le pregunté que estaba hablando porque le decía que es también muy argentino. Nosotros arrancamos con amigos tocando o con gente del colegio, que eso era, también lo compartían con nosotros, y le pregunté específicamente qué es lo que ella pensaba sobre la industria musical en este momento, y dice que sí, que es algo bien complicado. Sin embargo, es la primera banda que tiene, pero hay otros miembros del grupo que ya tocaron en otros grupos, y dice que en este momento es bastante difícil hacer una carrera, más que nada en la industria de la música, o sea, ganar plata directamente, por lo menos por ahora. Vamos a ver cómo siguen. And Lindsay, New Pagans begin releasing music since 2016, first as simples, and then you release a record. How do you feel about that, releasing some songs and then after that a record?
Yeah, we started with just the singles because we didn't really have a clear plan at that point. We were just kind of writing music and putting it out. But also in the middle of it, I had two kids, like two small kids, and so there was a lot going on. But eventually we kind of pulled it all together and got our album out, and we're really, really proud of it. It's kind of like marking the first 4 years for us of New Pagans, and we're excited for the next album. It's kind of like a progression, natural progression.
Of course. Le pregunté, bueno, porque hace unos 4 años, en el 2016, como contaba que empezó la banda, sacaban simples primero, y después, bueno, hicieron un disco que se llama The Seed, The Bezel, The Roots and All. Y le pregunté por qué sacaban primero simples y después un disco, y dijeron que, bueno, que no era un plan así súper, no tenían un plan específico de seguir con la banda, así que sacaban simples, y bueno, y después llegó el disco. And Lindsay, can you tell us what is about the name of the record, the Seed, the Bezel, and the Roots and All? What does it mean?
Yeah, it's actually a line in one of the songs in I Could Die, which was maybe the second song we wrote. So we wrote Ode to None, and then we wrote I Could Die, and it was just it just, I don't know why we loved it so much. We'd written out hundreds of different night titles, but everybody loved to see the Vessel of Roots and all, because I think it just reminded us of this kind of growth, like nature, something to do with nature and growing and, you know, organically kind of just evolving. And it just made sense with how we'd started.
Le pregunté por el nombre del disco y dice que bueno, es una frase en la segunda canción que compusieron y estaban buscando nombres para el disco, siguieron buscando y todos estuvieron de acuerdo que esa frase era la correcta para nombrar al disco. Y lo que me dice que esa frase refiere a algo orgánico, así como el decir la semilla y después cómo va creciendo todo. And does it have something in common with you as a mother, maybe?
Yes, I mean, I suppose it does. I mean, there's a lot of the songs that, like, you know, on the album, for instance, Yellow Room and Harbour, they kind of talk about motherhood quite a lot. A lot of the songs sort of deal with that, because it was the first time when I was writing these songs, it was the first time I was having a baby. So it was all very new and in a way exciting, and I just captured it all in this album with the lyrics.
Wow. Le pregunté si tenía algo que ver las letras del disco con ser madre y me dijo que sí, totalmente. No dudó en responder que sí, que las letras refieren mucho. And how do you feel like being a musician and a mother?
It's difficult. I mean, we just completed a month tour or 3-week tour with Skunk and Nancy in Europe, and it was hard to be away from the kids, but it's also amazing because the kids love music and we're kind of introducing them to other, you know, musicians or friends, and they feel part of it as well, I think. So but it's hard to leave them.
Yes, we can understand that. Le pregunté qué es lo que ella sentía de ser músico, o sea, tener estas giras. Nos comentó que vinieron de gira con Skunk Anansi acá a Europa, y que hay veces que, bueno, cuando están de gira mucho tiempo, que los extraña mucho y es un poco difícil estar lejos de los nenes, pero sí que el hecho de ser músico y estar rodeado de músicos sí les gusta y le parece algo interesante para ofrecer para los chicos. Lindsay, what did you think about social medias and streaming services?
Yeah, I mean, there are kind of there's really positive things that come out of social media and streaming, because more people have access to your music. It's easy to share it, but then there's issues with, you know, the artists not getting paid properly. Maybe people aren't buying as many albums and stuff like that. So it's a two-edged sword, really. It's there's good and bad things about it.
And sorry the question, no, but I want to know how did you feel about schools and the education with internet now? You have some kids that are going to study with internet no matter what happened. And how did you feel about that? Do you have a religion education or not?
Yeah, we have. So my kids are only 3 and 4, so they're tiny, but they're only starting school. But yes, we in Ireland, we live in Donegal in the north of Ireland, and it's very religious. Here, Catholicism is the main kind of religion, and the schools are very much part of that. So it's a strange thing whenever you're not religious and you have to deal with that, but it's part of the education system here.
And how do you feel the mix between Catholic education and internet?
Well, I would think the internet should help kids, because all the information's there for you. If you've got a question, you can ask it to the universe, essentially. But I think equally, we can be bombarded with too much information and not know how to figure out which information is truth and which is false and which is, you know, all the in-betweens. So it can be really difficult to navigate the internet, I think, as a young person.
Nice. Le pregunté un poco cómo era el tema de la educación católica, de la educación ahí en el norte de Irlanda, y también le pregunté por la mezcla de, bueno, de educación y de internet. Me dice que, bueno, que en el norte de Irlanda se vive mucho el catolicismo, que ella fue a una escuela católica, y le pregunté más que nada por los hijos, porque van a vivir directamente en una época plena de internet, y dice que no cree que haya muchos problemas con internet en el colegio, salvo, bueno, con que haya a veces demasiada información y que no todo sea real. Lindsay, you know that here I'm living in Spain now, the cell phones are prohibited in school here.
Right,
Yes,
right. It's good.
No, well, we don't know. Manu is in Argentina, and they don't mind about the telephones in the school. En Argentina no hay problema,
Okay.
acá están prohibidos, y en el norte de Irlanda están viendo a ver qué es lo que hacen, me parece. Manu, ¿tenés alguna pregunta? Sí.
Sí, le quiero preguntar por la mezcla de los discos, porque yo escucho la batería muy adelante. Quiero saber si si ellos coinciden conmigo y si es una decisión artística de ellos.
Lindsay, Manu wants to know some part of the technical ways of that you record. You've been in the record room with the other guys for this record album.
For recording?
Yes, you've been with the guys, with the drummer, and how did you feel about that? Because we found that the drum, for example, it's really adelante, it's on top, the drum. Maybe it's, you like that?
Yeah, it's very loud.
Okay. And how do you feel about that?
Well, I think the way we recorded it actually was... I think this is what you're asking, but Connor recorded all the drums first, and then we record over that. But we actually recorded some of these songs straight to tape, so there is more of a live feel with some of them because they were on tape. But I mean, I think at one point the producer, Cahir is our producer, he was like, let's try cymbal separation, but we didn't like the feel of it.
Okay.
I think if that's what you're...
Okay. Bueno, Manu le preguntó sobre la grabación del disco, porque escuchamos que la batería está muy adelante, y concuerda, Lindsay, ella participó también de la grabación del disco, y bueno, y que fue una decisión más que nada del productor. Dice que primero fue grabada la batería por Connor solo, y después, bueno, fue todo grabado encima, y que sí, la batería está súper adelante, y bueno, que fue una decisión del productor. Lindsay, how do you feel about recording, the recording process? It was your first time?
Yeah, it was. I actually really loved it. I was actually really pregnant when I was doing the vocals, a lot of the vocals, so it was a bit strange. But I feel that it's captured my voice, because your voice actually changes when you're pregnant. It's captured just your air capacity and stuff. So it captured that moment in time for me. So I'm really proud of it, you know.
Great. Sí, le preguntamos, bueno, le pregunté yo qué es lo que ella sintió. Es la primera vez que graba, y le pregunté cómo se sentía, y me dijo que sí, que la verdad que se sentía muy bien en el estudio, y que estaba embarazada cuando grabó, así que fue un proceso que a veces la voz cambiaba, pero bueno, se sintió súper cómoda. And can you tell us how did you find the producer? And you've been making some songs, and then you have a mix with a record label, no, for the album?
Yeah, we well, actually, the first album was produced by Cahir O'Doherty in New Pagans, and actually mixed by him as well. So he was very much stressed about it, but it sounded really good, and he captures our sound and on our mood very well. So I think it worked, and then we teamed up with when it was completed, we actually teamed up with Big Scary Monsters, which is an indie label, an English indie label. So that was we fit really well with those guys. It's small, and it's like, you know, it's like a family.
Bueno, le pregunté cómo se habían rodeado de los productores y de toda esta gente y me dijo que el primer disco fue medio independiente y después los primeros lanzamientos fueron independientes y después encontraron a Scary Monsters, que es un sello independiente de Inglaterra. Do you feel any changes before and after signing with Scary Monster, or is it pretty the same?
It's really, the main change is just having that little bit of extra support from the label, you know, and they have contacts and they're able to help us with the promotional side of things, which has been really helpful, for us as a small band from Ireland, you know, having that kind of more scope in Europe and in Britain.
Bueno, le pregunté que si había un antes y un después de firmar con un sello, aunque sea un sello pequeño, y me dijo que sí, que ellos encontraron que el sello le dio un extra support, como que era una ayuda bastante importante, por ejemplo, más que nada con los contactos, con el booking y para hacer cosas así, que sí, se sienten cómodos con el sello y están contentos con haber firmado con un sello. Manu, ¿tenés alguna otra pregunta?
No, solamente por el vivo, preguntarle por el vivo. Bueno, has nombrado vos que han tocado con Skunk, tremenda banda. ¿Con qué nos encontramos cuando vamos a ver en vivo a New Pagans? ¿Ya hay disfraces? Si hay algunas sorpresas, ¿qué nos podemos encontrar?
Tuve la oportunidad de ir a verlos, Manu, son terribles, una aplanadora.
Bueno, pero que me cuente ella,
Dale. Manu, I have the opportunity to watch a show of New Pagans here in Barcelona with Skunk and Nancy, and you have an amazing show. I really love the band, but Manu wants to know how is a show of New Pagans.
What's it like? I think, well, it's hard for me to say because I've never actually gone to one of our shows, but you know, in the sense of like watched it, but and I don't like watching things back, but I feel that when we are together on the stage that something really amazing happens. Just the energy that we have between us, and also for me, it's a very visceral experience, but it's also actually very therapeutic in a way. Like I feel like I exercise a lot of demons on stage, and it's just like really always afterwards we feel, and then particularly on that Barcelona show was amazing, and we loved that. The audience was really, really class. So we had such a good time, you know, in Spain, playing in Spain last month. It was brilliant.
Bueno, nos contaba Manu, nos decía que el show tiene un montón de energía, que es verdad, o sea, son súper energéticos en el show, y aparte lo que a mí particularmente me impresionó, que, a ver, se nota la voz femenina, pero no actúan, tienen una bajista también, no actúan como rockeros de los 70 y te llevan puesto, Manu, así directamente, o sea, tienen una calidad de audio y de ejecución gigante, y aparte, sí, es verdad que transmiten un montón de energía. Ella dice que no le gusta mucho hablar de esto porque no quiere ver para atrás, no le gusta ver mucho para atrás, pero que el show es realmente visceral, y para ella particularmente es muy terapéutico, dijo. Así que como que puede sacar un montón de demonios que tiene encima. And Lindsay, is there any like small circuit to bands like New Pagans in North Ireland or not?
A secret?
No, circuit, places to play.
Oh, our favorite. Oh, yeah. Favorite places to play in Ireland. Yeah. And when we love playing the Empire and we're actually playing one of our favorite shows or places, the Black Box, in June this year in Belfast. So I think that's our favorite, but at home. But yeah, there's loads of places in Ireland. But yeah, I think playing in Belfast is probably like coming home a little bit for us. You know, it's like, you know, we've kind of built a crowd of people there that have went into the band from the start, so it always feels really good to come back to your roots.
Yes, of course. Le pregunté si había un circuito y dice que sí, que hay un montón de lugares para tocar, que su lugar preferido es Black Box, y que sí, siempre es un placer para ellos tocar en casa. And sorry the question, Lindsay, but there is a reggaeton in your place or not?
Pardon? Sorry, I missed that.
No,
sorry.
You know reggaeton music? Like Daddy Yankee, that kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is in Belfast, there's a really great music, like completely different types of music in Belfast. I mean, Belfast is a great music city, and so is Dublin. So and our drummer actually, Connor, is really into lots of different types of music, and he kind of introduces us to stuff all the time, and I really appreciate that, because a lot of us are kind of indie rockers, you know, at the heart, and then we get all this other music in through Connor. So I think that's going to be reflected a little bit more in the next album as well.
Ok, thanks. Le pregunté si había reggaetón o algo y me dice que sí, que Belfast y Dublin son dos ciudades gigantes con muchísima música, y dice que más que nada Connor, que es el baterista, dice que es el que le trae un montón de información de música nueva y de grupos nuevos, así que terrible. Es muy normal como está hablando todo, y la verdad que tuvieron la oportunidad de hacer cosas increíbles, pero súper humildes. Así que tremendo. We really like to speak with you because you are like a normal person, you know, and you've been touring, you've been playing everywhere, you've been pregnant, you're a mother, but you still it's like, I have a normal life. No,
muy humilde.
You don't have a normal life.
Yeah.
You are a musician, you know. And we like that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, thanks.
But all musicians are normal at the heart of it. They like pretend.
Yeah, maybe. Sí, le dije que nos encantaba cómo habla, porque lo transmite todo con una normalidad gigante. Dice, sí, todos los músicos son normales, por lo menos de corazón. And, so, Lindsay, sí. Decime, Manu.
Sí, no, la misma pregunta que le hicimos al inglés, me gustaría preguntarle por cómo ve ella la movida del rock. En Irlanda está U2, que es una banda enorme que prácticamente no desapareció. ¿Cómo lo ve ella, ese recambio entre las bandas nuevas y las bandas viejas en un lugar con tanta historia?
Lindsay, Manu wants to know if you feel some differences between the old artists and the new ones. Particularly in Ireland, you know, there is a really in rock music. There is a really change or not?
That's a difficult one. I think we are kind of in between. We know some older musicians and we know a lot of younger musicians. I think there's a difference maybe in attitudes, but there's a lot that we can all do to like I said earlier, it's like a community of musicians, and I think we very much like to help younger bands, and we also like to take advice from older bands, you know. So I think if you're open to it, you can just be part of it. But musically, I think rock music is constantly expanding in small ways, you know, and hopefully we add to that in some capacity. You know, we add a little bit of something new, something exciting.
Wow. Great to hear that. Bueno, le preguntamos por el rock, qué es lo que sentía de los artistas nuevos y viejos. Dice, está todo el tiempo como resaltando el tema de la comunidad en Belfast, en el norte de Irlanda, y dice, bueno, que ellos más que nada tratan de ayudar a los artistas nuevos, de recibir consejos de los artistas viejos, y que la diferencia más grande que encuentran, bueno, es de la actitud entre los nuevos y los viejos, pero pese a esto están en una comunidad y son más o menos todos parecidos. Y lo que sí nos dijo, que esto sí es algo que no se repite mucho, que el rock está en permanente expansión, y pese a todo, creo que lo escuchamos a Wallace también decir eso, que pese a todo siempre se van a encontrar cosas nuevas en el rock. Así que eso, thanks for saying that to us, because we particularly in Latin America, rock music is like a hard thing to do, you know, Lindsay, so we want we like to hear that. And just for finish the interview, can you tell us something about the future plans of New Pagans?
Yeah, I mean, we've written a set of new songs, and we're aiming to get that out as soon as we can, either towards the end of this year or the start of next year. But it's we've recorded and everything, so we're ready. So we're really excited about the new stuff. So hopefully you guys will like it too.
Okay, we hope that. Le pregunté qué es lo que cuáles son los futuros planes, y dicen que ya tienen un montón de canciones escritas y que probablemente las vayan a editar y a sacar en un álbum que va a salir a fines de este año o a principios del próximo año. And Lindsay, just to finish the interview, we are going to play Yellow Room, the song of New Pagans, Yellow Room. Can you tell us something about that song?
Yeah, I mean, it was written. It's one of the ones that it deals with pregnancy, but it's written. It's based off a book called Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and it's kind of the first time. It's a Victorian piece of Gothic literature, and it deals with motherhood and postpartum depression. So,
oh wow!
There you go.
Okay, okay.
It's not funny, but
no, it's okay.
Oh wow! It was good to get it out, you know.
See, but always the same. You say it in a really simple way, so it's not hard to listen. You know, I don't know how to explain that, but you're easy going, easy going. Okay. Manuel, ya le pregunté por la última pregunta de qué se trataba Yellow Room, de la canción que vamos a escuchar, y bueno, me dice que justamente habla sobre el embarazo, trata sobre un libro, y es forma parte de la historia victoriana, y de cómo tomaban en la historia, en la historia victoriana el posparto, así que y se reía, boludo, habla súper simple. We really like to talk with you, Lindsay, and we keep in touch, okay?
Thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
No, we really like to talk with you. And where we can find the New Pagans music? In the social medias and streaming services?
Yeah, we're on all the normal social stuff, and it's just New Pagans. Or we also have a website which is newpagans.com, so you can find everything there as well.
Oh, okay, really, thank you very much. Manu, también si tenés alguna otra pregunta, algo.
No, estoy maravillado,
Sí.
We
really like to talk with you. We are going to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to you, and we are going to put a Yellow Room. Thank you.
Amazing. Ciao.
I've been in this room for days, trapped in a yellow haze. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Trained and boarded in, feeding on the young man's skin. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. You can't put me back. I'm worse in the mornings. Be careful. You can't put me back. I just won't go. So gently, slowly move away. Silence. You can't put me back. And I just won't leave. Frightened her and flourishing. Make me laugh, don't let me sleep. It's not so bad. It's not too bad.